Hello my lovely YouTubers, this is Trenlass and today I have a really special video for you. I'm quickly gonna give you my personal recommendation for this upcoming or this right now running ranked season. And I'm not gonna go into too much detail about every ship. I'm just gonna tell you from my personal opinion which ships I would recommend and which I wouldn't recommend so much real quick. I don't even own all the ships, but from what I've owned, I'm gonna share my experience. I'm not gonna share my experience on ships I don't own because despite having the data or the spreadsheets about the ships, I haven't actually played them, so I can't really tell you something about the performance. But right now, I'm gonna start with the destroyers, then we're gonna go to the other classes. So, my recommendations for this ranked season when it comes to the destroyers is definitely the Holland. You have a really strong AA in case you will get a CV. You do have a heal, good guns, amazing torpedoes that can even play around radar since you have quite some range. And yeah, it packs quite a punch. As I said, the AA is really nice, so you will often shoot down a lot of planes if there's a CV. If you don't have a CV in game, this thing can still work like a monster because you are really comfortable in knife fights. So Holland is definitely recommended from my kind of opinion. So Holland is definitely recommended. Another destroyer I would recommend. Another destroyer I would recommend, nice boom, is definitely the Daring. Now, the Daring is considered by many players and myself one of the best destroyers on tier 10. You got fast reloading smokes, which can help you against the carrier a lot. If he strikes you, you can smoke up. You do have a hydro, heal, and you got some insane gun power. So Holland is, Daring is definitely one of my top picks because you don't have the AA like the Holland, but you can use the smoke to somewhat hide you from the carrier, and especially against other destroyers, this thing is just a murdering machine. These are my two favorite picks. Of course, gearing can work as well. What I wouldn't recommend straight up is Shima. Shima has a big problem. Shima has okayish guns and has this torpedo spread, but the thing about Shima is, first of all, you don't have a really good smoke. You do have concealment, but concealment is not gonna be as important as soon as you have a lot of radar ships or especially CV in game, and you can't just go toe to toe with RDDs. So Shima, I mean, sure, torpedoes are nice, but Holland reloads quicker, gearing torpedoes are better, so not recommended definitely. So, my top picks, Daring, Holland. Okayish picks will be the Z52 for the Hydro, Grozavoy because it has somewhat working AA and guns, but not as good as Holland, and Kleber, Khabarovsk, and Maso depending highly how many radar ships you will have or a CV or not. Although, if you go for a fast DD like Kleber, Maso or Khabarovsk, take Maso or Kleber because Khabarovsk is just power crept and I wouldn't recommend using it. Gearing, always a solid choice, but definitely the two main picks, Daring and Holland. Moving over to battleships, or actually cruisers. Definitely every radar cruiser. Moskva, Nevsky, Petropavlovsk, Worcester and Des Moines are all really strong picks. Stalingrad is a really strong pick as well. Puerto Rico as well. Now, when it comes to supporting classes, Henry, in my opinion, still a decent ship. Venezia as well. Hindi is... it depends. Hindi is highly dependent on how many battleships you have and what caliber of battleships. I love the Hindi. I would definitely recommend it as well, but it has some sort of problem when you fight high caliber BBs that can overmatch 30mm because then your whole tankiness is basically gone. If you fight 406s, you can comfortably tank some shells. But yeah, Hindi as a supporting flanking cruiser is still a pretty good choice. But my main recommendations are Des Moines, Worcester, Puerto Rico, Moskva, Nevsky, Petro, and Stalingrad. Smolensk, well, Smolensk is good when it comes to damage farming, but is it viable for the team? I don't know. I guess if you want to save your star, do a lot of damage, Smolensk can work as well. Henry for kiting, definitely yes. On the flank. Venezia as well, extremely powerful ship. Zhao and Yoshino, I would only recommend to experienced players because I think Zhao is personally quite strong, but you really need a lot of experience to make it work. For a beginner, Zhao is really not a good choice. Oh, somebody who doesn't feel comfortable with cruisers, I would never recommend the Zhao. Goliath, not really a good pick. Although it can work. It depends also, like the Hindi, how many battleships you're fighting. The more battleships, the worse the Goliath gets. It has quarter HE pen, so it can counter Russian cruisers quite good. But as I said, it depends on the battleships. Usually there are a lot of battleships in ranked, so I won't expect it to perform really well. This is cruisers. Let's move to battleships. Now, I generally say play the battleship what you think or you are the best in or what you're the most comfortable, because usually battleships are the most versatile class. You can literally take every battleship and you're not doing too bad. There's just one exception. For me personally is the Montana. Montana has only 4 or 6mm guns. So yes, you do have a heavy broadside, but you rely on mistakes. You don't have the high calibers like Yamato, Shikishima, Ohio, Kremlin, Pandora, Republic. So you really rely on the mistakes of enemy ships, because if they angle and they angle correctly with the 30mm of side armor, I'm only talking about cruisers right now, you will have a hard time to punish them. On the other hand, something like a Kurfürst, you can take more into a brawl, so he can work around it a bit, and I definitely see a place for the Kurfürst. Although, that also depends if there's a CV or not, because if you have a Manfred von Richthofen against you, you will get AP Citadel bombs on you, so that might really be a pain. Conqueror is also, in my opinion, more suited than Montana, because yes, it has a small caliber as well. Yes, the AP is not the best on the world, but with the Conqueror, if there's really a problem with enemy angled ships, you can just switch to HE. And you don't care about armor anymore, and you just set them on fire and do like 14k volleys. So yeah, Conqueror is better suited as Montana as well, I would say. But then again, if you choose between Thunder and Conqueror, Thunder is the way to go. You have absolutely amazing AP and HE, a ridiculous reload of 22.9 seconds, and the insane battle cruiser accuracy. So my top pick is definitely this season Thunder. But as I said, Ohio is a really good pick as well. Shikishima is a good pick. Kremlin, of course, the tankiness monster, especially with Kuznetsov. But in general, play the battleship you feel the most comfortable with. There is no battleship I would say that's super bad or something. I just think Montana and Kurfürst might be not the best picks this season. Moving on to carriers. Now, you probably know I'm not the most experienced person when it comes to carriers, but I have played a bit of it. So, considering what we can expect, and we can expect a lot of Russian cruisers, we can expect a lot of battleships and not so many destroyers, my top pick this season will be Manfred von Richthofen. The reason behind it is, since we have CVs in the season, you will not see so many DDs, or not so many DDs in one battle at least. So you don't really need HE rockets. And with your AP rockets you can do massive amount of damage to cruisers. With your torpedoes and bombers you can work against the battleships as well. So this thing absolutely murders cruisers and battleships. It's an absolute beast when it comes to this. Of course, if you want to be more versatile and you want an amazing CV on tier 10 as well, Hakurio. Hakurio is the OG and still one of the best. You do have your rocket planes against destroyers, your insane torpedoes and AP bombs against the battleships and cruisers. Midway, okay-ish, but Midway and Audacious are not really my top picks. So definitely Richthofen and Hakurio. The AP bombs will dictate the battles because we will have barely any destroyers from my experience since we have a CV and so much radar on tier 10. So yeah, these are my personal topics. I hope you enjoyed this little and short video. I tried to keep it as short as I can because I literally wanted to just give an overview of what ships I think will perform well. Of course, I might be wrong and the meta is completely different, but my expectation is that since we have CVs and it's tier 10, we'll see a lot of CVs, a lot of battleships, and probably a lot of radar cruisers, and especially the super tanky Russian ones, which are basically battleship like Stalingrad or Petropavlovsk. I don't think DDs will play such a vital role, but if there's gonna be DDs, I definitely think there's gonna be stuff like Harugumo, like Halland, like Daring, these 3 picks, because they're quite good and they can handle CVs somehow. So, I hope you enjoyed this little video, and we're gonna see us later on stream and continue our ranked journey. I started yesterday with ranked, we're already at rank 9. And of course, hopefully we'll have a really good time today as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. I wish all of you the best. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you so much for all your support. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you like this or not. So if you liked the video, thumbs up. If you didn't like it, thumbs down. But in the end, the most important stuff is that you are safe and healthy. And I wish you a really good day. And I hope you liked this little recommendation video. And catch you later on stream. Stay safe. Have a good time. Bye bye.